Good morning, everyone. I'm State Senator Mike Simmons, pronouns he, his, and I represent the 7th District, which covers the Chicago neighborhoods of Uptown, Edgewater, Rogers Park, Lincoln Square, North Center, West Ridge, and the suburb of Evanston. I am proud to stand with you this morning to highlight and bring awareness to the 13th Annual International Transgender Day of Visibility to signify the ongoing work of creating a safe and living environment for all LGBTQ plus residents. Yet just in the last 10 days, 2 Black transgender women have been found dead in the Chicago area. One in the garbage truck, and the other was my own constituent, transgender rights advocate Elise Mallory, who was found dead in Lake Michigan. These 2 tragedies have captured the attention of many and urgently highlight how frequently trans women of color go missing or are murdered. Please join me in saying their names. Elise Mallory, Tatiana LaBelle. On this day of visibility, how about we pause for a moment of silence for each of the trans women who are missing, who simply are never reported or are dead named. On this 13th annual day of Transgender Day of Visibility, I want to lift up the scores and scores of people in the Chicago communities of Andersonville, Rogers Park, Edgewater, Lincoln Square, Uptown, and so many other communities, and Evanston, that mobilized and amplified the news of Elise Mallory's disappearance. It was simply unprecedented what we saw. And we set a new standard and requirement for what we need to do when our beautiful trans siblings cannot be found or are stolen from us. I also want to lift up the way we as a community grieved collectively for Elise. How healing for those of us living in a society that gives us no space to grieve and process something as traumatizing as Elise's death. In my role as Illinois' first openly gay senator, I want to make certain that these matters are visible and ensure that the safety and well-being of LGBTQ plus community members are visible and seen as a priority. While we cannot ignore that 29% of transgender people are living in poverty compared to 14% of the general population, we must also give visibility to the trans parents across Illinois who are raising children and helping to shape their communities every day. While we cannot ignore that 30% of transgender people report being houseless at some point in their lives, with 12% saying it was within the past 12 months, we must also give visibility to the agency that trans folks bring to every community, as they are so regularly discriminated against, but are still starting and running organizations and defining their communities, defining our communities. And while we cannot ignore that Florida just passed reprehensible legislation that seeks to erase, don't say gay, don't say trans, don't say mental health, young person, we must lift up that Illinois is and will double down on being a refuge and welcoming place for trans people that respects the agency and dignity of trans people in this state. Let's lift up our collective voices on this special day. Let's celebrate. And I encourage my fellow Illinoisans to stand in solidarity with our trans siblings every single day. Say it with me. Black trans lives matter. Black trans lives matter. Thank you.